What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Straight here, back in the video. Today we're going to be trying to guessing what the top 5 players by overall are going to be in NHL 23 by each position. So those each positions will be left wing, center, right wing, left defenseman, right defenseman, and finally the goaltender. So this should be a fun little video. If you guys hope you enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can see more NHL 24 content as it is coming soon in about 2 weeks. I'm so excited to upload content for you. So let's hop right into the video. So here we are, guys. We're going to start with the goaltenders. So we're going to start with number 5, the 5th best goaltender in NHL 24. I feel like it's going to be Linus Ullmark. This season, he won the Vezina with a great .938 save percentage and a 1.89 goals against average. What a good season for Ullmark. And yeah, again, I said I have him at a 92 overall. At the end of the season, EA had him as a 90 overall. I definitely can see him at a 92 overall after what a good season he had. So that's what EA had him at a 90 at the end of this year in NHL 23. So I think he can jump up to a 92 overall. As you see, even last year, a really good season, a 917 and a 245. So even when Boston was a wild card team and made the playoffs, he still put up a 917, which shows that he's a really good goalie. It's not just because Boston was good in front of him. He is a really good goalie. So let's move on to the 4th best goalie in NHL 24. Now for the 4th best ranked goaltender in NHL 24, I have Connor Hellebuyck at a 92 overall, so he's going up from a 91 to a 92 overall, a +1 boost. He had a really good bounce back season this year with a .920 save percentage and a 2.49 goals against average with the Winnipeg Jets, carried them to the playoffs but sadly lost. But he was a big reason why that team made the playoffs. And as you see, last year, he did not have as great of a year as he usually does. As you see, he's all the way down here with ranked 25th with only a .910 save percentage and a 297 goals against. Again, he had such a good bounce back season, and that's why he's really all the way up here 4th place, because he had such a good bounce back season. EA loves to give higher overalls when people have good bounce back seasons, so that's the reason I have him at number 4. So the 3rd best goaltender I have for NHL 24 is going to be Igor Shesterkin at a 93 overall. In NHL 22, he was a 92 overall, so I'm going up to a 93 overall. This year, Igor Shesterkin, where is he? Shesterkin. He was 10th here with a .916 and a 248 save percentage. Shesterkin is such a good goalie for the Rangers. He is such a good reason that they win so many games in the playoffs and the regular season. He is such a good goalie. And another reason, in the 21-22 season, he actually won the Vezina with a .935 save percentage and a 207 goals against. He is just such a good goalie overall. He's, again, such a good reason why the Rangers win so many games. And he's a big reason why they went to the conference finals that one year. So, yeah, that's why I have Shesterkin at number 3. Now, the 2nd best goaltender I have for NHL 24 has to be Ilya Sorokin, also at a 93 overall. EA Sports in NHL 23 had him as a 91 overall, and I have him jumping 2 to go to a 93 overall. He has just been such a good goalie these past few years. In save percentage, he was 3rd in the league this year with a .924 and a 234 save percentage. And as you look the year before, again, another solid year. He's never, inconsistent. He's always consistent. Last year, a .925 save percentage and a 240 goals against. He is such a good goaltender, and he has been for a few years now for the Islanders. He is such a big reason they made the playoffs last year and why they're just, they don't allow many goals, because he's there and he's making so many saves for this Islanders team. And again, he got that big extension for the Islanders, so he really deserved that. So top on to the 1st best goaltender, in my opinion, for NHL 24. My 1st rated goaltender in NHL 24 has to be Andrei Vasilevskiy at a 94 overall. So again, I have him staying at a 94 overall from NHL 23. He is just, you know who Andrei Vasilevskiy is. This season, he doesn't show it in the stats, but he is a pretty good goalie. A .915 save percentage and a 265 goals against. And the year before that, in the 21-22 season, he was also pretty solid. He's not sometimes he's the best goalie in the world. He's just always solid around. Again, another .916 and a 240 now. We can even go a year before that. I bet you he played even better. Let's see how he played this year. Again, a .925. So he's just such a consistent goalie. And when it's playoff Vasilevskiy, you should be scared, because He is such a playoff performer. That's why he's the best goalie in the league. And that is why Tampa won those 2 cups. Like, if they didn't have Vasilevsky, I don't know if they won 2 straight. Maybe they won 1, but I don't know about 2 straight. He is such a good goaltender, and that's why I have him at number 1. So there we are, guys. We're done with the top 5 goalies. Now we're going to move on to left defense. And now my 5th rated left defenseman for NHL 24 is going to be Victor Hedman at a 91 overall. I have him dropping 2 overalls from a 93 to a 91 because I just feel like he's dropped the last 2 years, especially this year. He has not been playing as good as he used to be. Again, he's getting there up in age. He's now around 31 to 32 years old. Not too old, but he just isn't playing as good as he used to be. As you see this year, only putting up 49 points. He did only play 76 games. That's pretty much a whole season. Only 49 points for Hedman is very weird. And even the season before that, I do not think he performed that well either. I lied. He put 85 points in 82 games. But again, he had a big drop this season, and that's why having dropping to a 91 overall. Again, you guys could be controversial saying, oh, it was just a bad year. But I just see him at a 91 overall. Again, he looked a little off in the playoffs as well against the Leafs because I'm a Leafs fan. I watched the whole thing. He didn't look like Victor Hedman, I know. He could be a 92 overall. I could see that definitely, but I have him as a 91 overall for this list. So let's move on to number 4. Now, for the 4th ranked defenseman I have for NHL 24 is Miro Heiskanen, also at a 91 overall. He has just had such a good season this year. He stepped up for the Dallas Stars, as you guys see. He put up 11 goals, 62 assists for 73 points in 79 games, almost a point per game. And he is so solid defensively as well. He's such a good two-way defenseman. Again, he's going up 2 overall from his 89 to 91. He is just such a good number 1 defenseman for the Dallas Stars. Like, see, the year before that, he did not perform as well. Here we are, guys, at number 3 for NHL left defenseman in NHL 24. I have Quinn Hughes at a 92 overall. Again, last year he was a 90 overall, so he's getting a +2 boost. And again, he's now that captain for the Vancouver Canucks. Last season, he had such a good offensive season, 76 points in 78 games. Also putting in 7 goals, so that's not too bad at all. Such a good season for Quinn Hughes. As you see, even the season before that, it was pretty solid as well. It's not like he is a one-hit wonder. As you see, Quinn Hughes, he had 68 and 76 last year as well, also putting around the same amount of goals. So he is such a good offensive defenseman, and expect him to be even better. I could see him being a 93 to 94 overall defenseman by NHL 25. He is such a good offensive defenseman for the Canucks. So let's move on to number 2. For number 2, in the left defenseman for NHL 24, I have Rasmus Dahlin at a 93 overall. Rasmus Dahlin is such a good defenseman. Again, at NHL 23, he was a 91, so he's getting also a +2 boost. He has just taken another step for the Buffalo Sabres. As you guys see, 73 points in 78 games. Such a good season for Rasmus Dahlin. And he was also at he was at EA Sports, so I feel like maybe they give him a little bump. So that's just a reason why. And also the year before that, as you see, Rasmus Dahlin 53 and 80, and that was just, I think it was his sophomore year. It was a year after his rookie year. So he's just become such a good defenseman already in the league for the Buffalo Sabres, and they must be really excited to see him play even more games. Now, the first rated left defenseman I have for NHL 24 has to be Roman Josi. Now, I think he has been for the last few years. He is such a good offensive defenseman. Again, last year he was also a 93. He didn't really take a step up or a step back. Obviously, he took a little step back from offense, but I feel like he's still a really good offensive defenseman. As you see, Roman Josi, he put up 59 points in 67 games. So that's, he didn't play all 82 games. That's pretty close to a point per game. Also putting 18 goals. Remember that. In the season before that, he had such a good season. He had 96 points in 80 games. Like, what a season for Roman Josi. Almost 100 points. That's why I have him at number 1. He is just such a good offensive defenseman. And a lot of offensive defensemen are on this list. So let's move on to right defense. Now, the 5th ranked right defenseman I have for NHL 24 is going to be Dougie Hamilton. Now, he had a really good season last year with the Devils. Obviously, the Devils made it into the playoffs, made some noise. He had 74 points in 82 games for the Devils, potting 22 goals, which I think is second. And it is. So he had 22 goals for the Devils. That is such a good offensive numbers for the Devils. Again, what a great season for Dougie Hamilton. The year before that, I don't think he played as great, but he's always been a solid defenseman as he's joined. I just realized that Dougie Hamilton was injured most of last year. I kind of forgot that the Devils team was mostly injured. That's why they pretty much came back with the same team and did such a good job. Again, he was an 89 overall last year, and I have him at a 90 overall for this year's game. Now for the fourth best ranked defenseman in NHL 24, I have the Norris Trophy winner, Erik Karlsson. What an offensive season. I have him at a 91 overall, jumping from a 90 to a 91. Put up 101 points with 25 goals. Led the defenseman in scoring with 100 points for the first time in a while. That's happened. Again, such a good season for Erik Karlsson. Played with a really bad San Jose Sharks team, so kind of made that Sharks team fun to watch a little bit, just to watch Erik Karlsson. And the year before, they did not have good numbers at all. I think he's all the way down at the bottom, if I'm not wrong. Where is he? I know he was there. He is. Erik Karlsson only had 35 points in 50 games, but I just realized he only played 50 games, so 35 points is not bad at all. Still such a good offensive defenseman for the San Jose Sharks. Now on Pittsburgh, I just realized. So I feel like Pittsburgh picked up such a good power play specialist. Now let's move on to number 2. Now for the third best rated defenseman in NHL 24, I have Charlie McAvoy, the Boston Bruins, at a 92 overall, jumping from a 90 overall to a 92. That's a +2 bonus. Again, last season, such a dominant season for the Bruins. 52 points in 67 games, pointing 7 goals. He has such a good defensive defenseman as well. He's good defensively. He can also pot you points for you as well. He's such good for both ways. And I think the year before that also put up great numbers. He's been the number 1 defenseman for them for a few years now, since Torrey Krug left, I feel like. And there he is last year, 56 and 78. So he is just pretty good point getter. He's also so good defensively. So that's why I have him at number 3. And for the second best rated defenseman in NHL 24, I have Adam Fox staying at a 92 overall. He had a pretty good season last year, 72 points in 82 games with 12 goals. He's also a really good defensive defenseman, and I think he showed that. He didn't really have an improvement from the year before, if I'm not correct. Adam Fox, 74 and 78, pretty much the same year, so I think keeping him at the same overall is pretty fine with me. And I just think he is such a good defenseman, and again, another good two-way defenseman, so that's why I have him at number 2. For the best ranked right defenseman in NHL 24, I have the cover boy, Cale Makar, at a 95 overall. Last year in NHL 24, he was a 94. I think he gets that boost for being the cover boy and just having a solid season. He only played 60 games, but potted 66 points over a point per game with 17 goals. So he's such a good offensive defenseman, and he can play a little bit of defense too, but mostly that offensive defenseman. I see the year before that, 86 points in 77 games with almost 30 goals. Some forwards can't even put 30 goals in. So he is such a good defenseman. He definitely deserves that 95 overall and winning that cup 2 years ago now, if you'd start this season. But he is just such a good defenseman. I think he's the best defenseman in the league easily. So here we are going to move on to left wing now. So the 5th best ranked left wing here in NHL 24, I have Alexander Ovechkin at a 91 overall. So he's dropping 1 overall, but still he's such a good goal scorer. Again, I have him drop because he's a little over in age, and I feel like he's slowing down a little bit, even though he's still potting 42 goals at the age of 36 and putting up 75 points last year. Again, another good season for Ovechkin. The year before that, I think he went crazy. Where is he? Yeah, right here, 50 goals and 90 points in 77 games. He is such a good goal scorer. And really, the Capitals are just wanting him to break Gretzky's record. That's pretty much why he's on this list. And he's a 91 overall for me. 4th best ranked left winger in NHL 24, I have Artemi Panarin at a 92 overall. Again, last year was a 93 overall, but the problem is he is getting up there in age. He's now 30 years old, but the problem is he does not play defense. He is just offense. So I feel like a 92 is pretty fair for him. Again, last season, a really good season, 92 points in 82 games. I feel like he can definitely still be a 93 overall, but I just feel him dropping a little bit in overall. And the season before that, I think he was still pretty high up there in points. Yes, he was 96 and 75. So I could definitely see him being a 93, but I have him at a 92 for this list. So here we are, guys. Third on the list for the left wingers, I have Kirill Kaprizov at a 92 overall. Last year, he finished the year at a 91, so I think he gets that +1 on the overall for 92 overall. He put up 75 points in 67 games last year, so he didn't play that much of the season with 40 goals. So again, he's a pure goal scorer and can also pass the puck. Again, the season before that, this is really when he blew up. 108 points, 47 goals, and 61 assists. Kaprizov is such a good player. Had a little drop last year, but again, he was injured for a few most of it, but he's still such a good player, and that's why I have him at number 3 at the left wingers. Now, ranked number 2 on the left wingers, I have Jason Robertson from the Dallas Stars at a 93 overall. So getting that +2 boost from NHL 23. Last year, 109 points in 82 games, 46 goals and 63 assists, leading left wingers, tied with Matthew Tkachuk. But such a good season. Even the year before that, such a good season for him as well. Again, he only played 74 games with 79 points, 41 goals, and 38 assists. He is just such a good player and getting better and better the years. And he has a pretty good contract to go with it. Only getting paid $7 million. That's going to be one of the best contracts easy in the league. So let's move on to number 1. Here we are, guys. Here, number 1. You guys probably guessed it. The playoff hero for the Florida Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk, at a 95 overall, getting a +2 from NHL 23. He is just such a good player. How he carried those Panthers. He did such good in the playoffs. This season, he had 109 points, 40 goals, 69 assists. Even the year before that, too. The only reason I have him above Jason Robertson, really, is because those playoffs. And he was ahead of him the year before, too. 104 points in 82 games, 42 goals, 62 assists. Again, 2 straight 100-point seasons. A lot of players can't do that. Like, even Austin Matthews hasn't done that yet. So I feel like Matthew Tkachuk is such a good player for the Florida Panthers, and the reason they did so good, obviously, and a $9.5 million deal for 8 years is such a good deal. But let's move on to the right wingers. So here we are, guys, at the left wingers. In the number 5 spot for the left wingers, I have the Toronto Maple Leafs, William Nylander, at a 90 overall. Last year, he was an 89 overall. I feel like he definitely gets that +1, having such a good season. 87 points in 82 games, putting first time in his career 40 goals with 47 assists. Such a good season for William Nylander. Just keeps getting better and better, as we see in the 21-22 season. Again, he didn't have as good as this season, but again, he's putting up points. There's 80 points in 81 games, 34 goals, and 46 assists. He just keeps getting better and better every year. Nylander is such a good player for the Maple Leafs, and that's why I have him at number 5. At number 4, for the right wingers, I have Mitch Marner at a 93 overall, getting a +1 boost from NHL 23. Such a good season for Marner. Sadly, only 99 points. Sad that he didn't hit 100, but 30 goals. I think that was first time in his career with 69 assists. Such a good player, Mitch Marner is. And he missed 2 games as well. I feel like he definitely could have got those 100 points if he played those 2 games. But he is such a good player for the Maple Leafs. Such a great playmaker on that penalty kill. As you see, the year before that also had a good season. He's been good these past few years. He actually led them with 97 the year before with 35 goals. I lied. He actually put 35 the year before that. So Marner's definitely a great player. Can score goals, but is mostly a passer. That's why I have him at number 4. At number 3, on the right wingers list, I have Mikko Rantanen at a 94 overall, getting a +1 boost from NHL 23. Such a good season for Rantanen last year. 55 goals, 50 assists for 105 points in 82 games. He is just such a beast, is now such a goal scorer for the Avalanche. And like him and McKinnon are such a good duo. He played such a big part because Landeskog wasn't there. Even the year before that, 92 points with 36 goals. So he just keeps getting better, just like Mitch Marner. Better and better. And that's why I have him at a 94 overall in NHL 24. And for second place in the right wingers, also at a 94 overall, I have Nikita Kucherov. Such a good player for the Tampa Bay Lightning. As you see this year, 113 points, tied for first in the right wingers. Again, he stayed at a 94 overall. He was last year. The only reason I don't have him as a 95 overall is because I'll just spoil it right now. Pastrnak, I have him at a 95. The only reason I don't have him as a 95 too is because Pastrnak put up 61 goals while Kucherov put up 30. So Pasternak doubled his goals, as crazy as that seems. So that's the reason I don't have him as a 95, but I have him staying as a 94. But he is such a good player. Don't be surprised if he's a 95. And here he is, Kucherov again. Actually, he didn't really play this season. I forgot. This is the season that they sent him out, I think. Or did he just not play? Oh, no, there he is. 69 points in 47 games. That was the year before they sent him out because he was injured. But still, another good season. Didn't play many games, but such a good player Kucherov is. Such a good playmaker for the Lightning. Now, let's move on to number 1. We might as well already do it. It's David Pastrnak at a 95 overall, the best right winger in the league with, again, last year, 113 points, 61 goals, only behind McDavid, 52 assists. A big reason why the Bruins played so good. He had such a good season. Even the year before that, such a good player. David Pastrnak, he put up 77 points in 72 games, 40 goals still, but he is such a good player. That's the reason I have him at number 1 at the right wingers. Now, we're going to move on to my favorite position, and probably everybody's favorite position, the center position. So here we are, guys, at the centers, the final position. At number 5, I have Sidney Crosby staying at a 93 overall. Again, last season, he even at the age of 35, he's still putting up points. 93 points and 82 goals, 33 goals, 60 assists. And everybody loves Sidney Crosby, so he's always going to be one of the higher overalls. I could even see Jack Hughes taking this spot, but I still see Crosby taking the spot. Even last year, 84 points in 69 games, 31 goals and 53 assists. So missed some time, but still put over a point per game if it was a full season. Crosby is such a good player. So let's move on to number 4. Now at number 4 in the centers, I have my favorite player in the NHL, Auston Matthews, staying at a 94 overall. Last year had a little down year for Auston Matthews, only 85 points in 74 games, 40 goals and 45 assists. Again, that's crazy saying a down year for Matthews is 40 goals because some players can't even get 40 goals. As you see, point there 51 goals, but a lot of the players here don't even have 40 goals. Like some of them here, like Nugent Hopkins only had 37. But yeah, Matthews, again, he is a 94 overall. I feel like he's definitely gonna have a bounce back, and apparently he had wrist injury too, so I guess he'll get fixed up. I could definitely see him hitting 60 again. Again, the year before that, 106 points, 60 goals, won the Richard. He's won it, I think, twice now. Maybe even 3 times if I'm wrong. But that's why Auston Matthews is at number 4. Can definitely see him jumping overalls through the year if he has a really good season. But let's move on to number 3. At number 3, in the center position, I have Nathan MacKinnon staying at a 95 overall. What a good season last year for MacKinnon. 111 points, only in 71 games. 42 goals, 69 assists. What a good season for Nathan MacKinnon. Had a little injuries there, but such a good season. And again, he won his cup last year, let's say, but such a good player. Even MacKinnon the year before, only in 65 games, 88 points, 32 goals, 56 assists. He is such a good player, and that's why I have Nathan MacKinnon at number 3. Let's move on to number 2. So here we are, guys. Second best center in the league for NHL 24. I have Leon Draisaitl at a 96 overall, getting a +1. Look at the season he had last year. 128 points, 52 goals, 76 assists in 80 games. What a player Draisaitl is, and you can't even say McDavid helps him because most of the time McDavid center 1 and Draisaitl plays center 2, so he barely plays with McDavid. The only time he plays with McDavid is on the power play. They do have that a lot, but he is just such a creative player. His passing is so good. He is a goal scorer. Even the year before that, as you see, Draisaitl 110 points. I think the one year he had the most points in the league. Let's quickly. I want to quickly find that. It wasn't this year. It must have been 1920. I think it was 1920. It was. He had 110 points. McDavid was injured that year, but still, Draisaitl is such a good player for the Oilers, and they really need him to win the Stanley Cup if they want to this year. And now the number 1 center and the best player in the NHL. You guys probably would have never guessed this one. No, it's Connor McDavid. I have him at a 98 overall, getting a +1 from last year. It's crazy because he just keeps getting better and better. 153 points last season, 64 goals, winning his first Richard with 89 assists. You literally, if you take away all of his goals, he still has over a point per game. He is crazy. Again, always, he won all the awards. Again, cleaned house like he usually does. Last year, the same thing, 123 points. Like, he put up 30 more points than last year. That's just crazy. And the year before that, 2021, if you guys look, guess who it is? Connor McDavid. And obviously Draisaitl by 18-19. I'm guessing that's McDavid. Who would have... oh, no. I thought 18-19 was... oh, no. It was... yeah, I thought it was... oh, no, because this is centers. Never mind. But he's such a good player. 17-18. I don't know if he was injured this year. I don't think he was, so he probably won it too. 108. So McDavid is just such a player. You guys already know that. But yeah, guys, those are my rankings for NHL 24, the top 5 rated players for every position. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for soon NHL 24 content in about 2 weeks. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. See you guys later. Peace.